Hey, Rob, Curtis, what's going on?
Hey, now.
What's happening?
How are you?
You know, you should trademark that, you know?
What?
Just like, next. I like saying the word next all the time, right? It's just crazy. Hey, now, you should definitely...
yeah.
I mean, if you don't, I will.
No.
So.
No, I think you're right. Hey, now.
Hey, now.
There you go.
I mean, that's like, that resonates.
Yeah.
He's got that voice.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got that Lou Rawls voice.
That's
a little bit.
country. That's a country
He's got
sound.
a Lou Rawls mixed with a little Barry White.
I love it, Barry White. Exactly,
God,
right?
these guys
He probably
are
can
something.
sing like him, too. He just never told us.
I know he does.
That's just so mean.
Yeah. It's only him in the shower, probably. Yeah.
Exactly. At least that's the best sounding boards.
It is.
Hello? It's actually got insulation, so you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want. Okay, so here is our test episode, and we're just kind of farting around, talking about things and people's concerns that they need to really focus on.
Right.
They're out there listening to podcasts, radio stations, and hopefully we can saturate this in social media so people might pay attention. I'm really excited for not just the audio portion of this, but the video portion that we're going to be plugging into this via YouTube Live.
That's
You know, and at the same time, you can have Facebook Live going.
Yeah.
Just some really crazy stuff. But most importantly, it's all about awareness.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Awareness to me is everything. Because the public doesn't get aware of a lot of things. They're not aware. I mean, it's no longer we the people. It's just like, hey, this is the norm, and deal with it or don't deal with it.
That's right.
Right.
It's the new phone XYZ or the new 5G
Right.
that's coming into place. Is going to, I don't know.
Knowledge,
They said it's not good,
knowledge is power.
right?
Right.
Exactly.
And the best decisions are informed ones.
But I thought it was knowledge is power only when applied.
Well, yeah, you have to apply it. And that's,
Do you have to apply
that's-
it? I
No, that's a
guess.
great point because so many
No,
people
right.
are researchers. I know many of them right now.
Right.
Almost to the OCD level. And they research, they gain all this knowledge, and then there's no application of it. And that ends up being...
Story of my pug. But anyways.
Yeah, right? I mean...
It looks at you and gives you that selective hearing.
Yeah. If you
okay.
don't
Walks
execute
off.
on it, it's still just a great idea
It's
and
just a great
remains an
idea.
idea.
It's amazing that we're saying this because it's like what we're ready to talk about and share in the marketplace about homeowners and business owners not taking advantage or the things that they know of to help themselves, not applying.
There's a lot
Right.
of there's a lot of fear in change. Even when they've done research and they know the change is good for them, there's even this reluctance to change that paradigm that they've been doing for so many years. And it's with everything. But look at how many industries now are being disrupted.
Totally.
Everything from cars, electric cars, solar energy to beds now being mailed in boxes to you. And I mean, all these different industries, but it's the disruptive ones that have ended up adding the most value to people's lives and saved them most.
Absolutely.
That's what we're going to talk about.
We should do a TED Talk.
There you go.
Hey, you know, we'll get a little video and do a
I've
TED
always
Talk.
wanted to create Fred.
Fred?
Yeah, Fred's
Ted's brother?
Ted's not so well known brother, but has a lot of good things to share
disruptor?
as well. Yeah, he's a disruptor.
He disrupts the community. I love it.
Yeah.
So you were talking about earlier, we had this conversation, and by the way, this thing started March 1st, 2019.
Yes.
And this is in regards to electricity charges.
Right.
It's called critical peak pricing. And on the electric bill themselves, not only has it affected commercial customers, small, medium, large, it really doesn't matter because they're already getting
Right.
taken to the bank, if you will.
Absolutely.
Right? I wanted to say the word hosed,
Yeah.
but taken to the bank is just as good. And this affected residential customers because Rob has discovered that the rates have seriously changed, and there's 3 different tiers you can get on. 2 will be available after the end of this month, but the third one has got a twist to it.
Right.
And you're not going to like the twist, everybody, because it's not cool.
Right.
So the first one is time of use D between 4 and 9 p.m. That's the code. TOU-D-4-9. And, you know, it's got a winter and a summer rate. Well, the winter rates are 17 cents from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and they have that looking in green, like green is good, it's saving you more money. But it's still 17 cents. It's still bigger than Tier 1. It's still bigger than Tier 2 when they used to have the tier structure. And who I'm talking about is Southern California Edison. I don't mind talking about them at all because I'm a consumer of Southern California Edison's energy.
Yeah.
And I know all about it, right? So 17 cents is a little bit higher. Then it goes from 4 to 9 p.m. to 29 cents. And from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., it's at 28 cents, but it doesn't change back until 8 a.m.
Right.
Wow.
So they go from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. at 28 cents, and they only have that small window from 4 to 9. It's at 29 cents.
Right.
So is a penny going to kill you? Not really, unless you're there for 1,000 years.
Right.
But in the reality, it's not good either.
No.
And that is the weakest tier that's there.
It's winter.
It's available now. It's in the
Yeah.
winter, right?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the summer, folks. That same rate from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. now goes to 22 cents. From 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., it's at a great 41 cents.
Right.
And then from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., probably because they feel sorry about what happened, they're back down to 22 cents.
Yeah.
And it stays from 9 p.m. all the way till 4 p.m. at 22 cents. Then it changes, of course, from 4 to 9 p.m. at 41 cents. That's when they hit you.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is called TOUD, 4 to 9 p.m.
Right.
Now, they just created this schedule.
Well, that's what happened. When the shift happened, it put it right prime time for family activity.
Prime time.
All right? I mean, you come home from work, they come home from school, your children, you're going to spend that time together, you're having dinner, you're cooking, you're doing homework, maybe you're going to do an activity or watch a movie together, and that's when they decided to hit you. So it wasn't like time of use didn't really apply before, but
Right.
it's the shift of when they made the highest cost hit you that's really quite...
They're kind of getting the most bang for their buck because they know it.
right.
Wow.
At that
they
time,
did
it
this?
should really be. That's like a discipline. I
That's
don't know.
why we call it the anti-family hours.
The anti-family hours,
Because
nice.
I mean, why else would you hit people at that time?
Make
Right.
your most money.
That's right.
Exactly. So it's very money driven, and it's not really consumer driven or to help the families.
I think it's
Totally
horrible.
sad.
The second rate is TOUD, 5 to 8 p.m. Now check this out. On the winter rates, it's at 17 cents. It goes from 8 to 5, and 5 to 8, it goes up to 30 cents. So they gradually, on this second tier, are going to get you for more money. And, of course, during 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., it's a mere 28 cents, and that's just in the wintertime.
Right.
Well, let's expose the summertime now. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., it's at 23 cents. From 5 to 8, it's at a whopping 48 cents.
It's amazing.
Why don't you just round it off to
Yeah.
$1? You know, come on, man.
And you're almost
It's
at 50
horrible.
cents. It's ridiculous.
It's horrible. And from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., it's at 23 cents. And that's TOUD 5 to 8. So when they talk about, what's the best plan for me, I think the first one's good. I think the second one is not so good. And then we get into the last one, and this is a great acronym. It's called TOU Prime.
Right.
What does that mean?
Wow.
Is that like they're stealing the Amazon acronym?
Of course.
Well, at least it got, at
you
least it got
bought
a
your
little cheaper.
hour. You bought your energy during Prime.
Right. Right. Prime service.
Prime service. So you're getting primed all right, but it's not at the front end, it's at the back end. Right? And that's not cool, right? Check this out. TOU Prime. Well, 13 cents from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And this is, that's the summer rate. So winter rates, 12 cents, it's a penny less. They say that's their great hours between 8 and 4. And then 4 from 9 is at 38 cents. And from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., it's at a mere 12 cents.
Right.
That's weekdays.
Yeah.
And now let's go to summer rates. It's at, from 8 to 4, it's 13 cents, so it only went up a penny.
Right.
And then from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., it's at 38 cents. And from 9 to 8 a.m., it's back at 13 cents. And that's weekdays,
Right.
right? So what has happened here? Here's what really blew me away. When you and I were talking to Southern California Edison yesterday on my phone,
Right.
They said something that really disturbed me, right?
Right.
You want to expound upon that, Rob? I'm just
if you look at
burned out about it.
well, first of all, the time of use prime is only available to the 30th. It's available to all customers
This month, and that's it.
this month. So you've got about 7 more days to get in on this.
That's right.
After that, you're going to have to be eligible for it, and the only things that get you eligible for it is technologies of electric vehicles, storage systems, and/or electric heat pumps for water or space heating. Now, it's interesting that solar's not listed. And the difference between solar and all the things I just mentioned
so wrong
is everything I mentioned is a consumption.
Yeah.
Right.
It's to use more energy in one way or another. Okay, I bought an electric car. Well, I'm not gassing up at the pump, but I'm gassing up at Edison now.
Right.
Okay. Solar was left out because it's a generator. Right? It generates power.
Yep.
And it's interesting how they've left that out as the qualifier. So it kind of gives you an idea of what they're doing. They're actually trying to hurt the solar market and customers that are trying to save.
The only way you can go back to prime, just like Rob said, is to put a solar system on your roof that has a battery backup system in place, which is not a bad idea.
No,
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you put a battery backup system on your home, there's going to be like a zombie apocalypse.
Right.
Or we're going to have World War III in the next 10 years.
Right.
They don't realize what a battery backup system does not do. You know, just like Ohm's law says, volts times amps equals watts times time, right? I mean, time is the biggest consumer.
Right.
So if you have a 10K system, a lithium-ion battery backup system, let's just say the grid went down right now, and I got a 2,000-watt demand. How many hours is that 10 kilowatt that you spent $15,000 to $20,000 going to last?
Exactly.
How about 4 or 5 hours?
5 hours, yeah.
And then you're back at ground zero. So why would you spend that much money, 15 to 20 grand, every 12? Actually, they say anywhere between 8 and 10 years.
Right.
Why would you do that every 10 years?
Would it make sense?
I mean, it's like almost buying a car.
Yeah.
Or how about putting that on your mortgage or something? I mean, just the lithium-ion thing I don't get yet because it's not significant enough to make progress in my house. You know why it's here? Southern California Edison wants it in place to help stabilize their grid.
Absolutely.
That's
And they talk about that all the time.
Right,
That's
exactly.
right.
I think the battery is going to be very valid in a few years. What we haven't seen, like we've already seen in solar, is we've seen the technology and the price point get to a point where it makes sense. It's a way for people to own their power instead of rent their power. The battery's not quite there yet. We have a shorter lifespan on a product and a fairly high cost. The solar price is in a good price point, but it also has, if you're buying quality, right? If you're buying the quality panels and so forth, you're looking at having 30, 40-year product.
Yep.
That's right.
That makes sense. And batteries will get there probably in the next few years. It's very exponential right now.
Seriously, put a quality solar system in place.
Absolutely.
And I'm not talking about buying something from overseas that came in bubble wrap.
Right.
Or something you got stuck with on eBay or Amazon. I'm not saying do that.
Right.
I'm not saying go to Pete in the pickup or Chuck in the truck without a license and then put a solar system.
Absolutely.
Or I'm not talking about you actually getting them and doing them yourself.
Right.
You can hurt yourself.
That's right.
If you don't put it in the right place, you will die.
This is
it's unforgiving.
I mean, this is your home, and this isn't an area where
it's not a circus.
Yeah, you don't cut costs here.
Right.
You do it right.
Do it right.
Because if your system's not producing, you're going to end up buying energy again from your utility. Okay?
Absolutely.
So what you don't want to do is you don't want to have that. You don't want to someday have a poor quality solar system on your roof and you're paying for that and the utility. If you do it right, you can mitigate that utility cost, and that's what you want to do.
Hey, tell me something. Now, you and I have been in this business for a while. We've worked with some pretty big players and stuff like that. We're still loyal to a couple. Of course, our friends at Solaria, makes, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best panels on the planet.
That's right.
And it's spelled Solaria.
Right.
You can easily get it at Quality Home Improvement because, hence the name Quality.
Right.
We don't like selling that garbage that everybody else is trying to force down your throat.
Right. That's right.
Right? It's called Quality, right?
Quality.
So anyway, Solaria is a great panel. Would you guys both agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for you and me, we've been in the business so long, for all of us, really. And
27 years for me now.
And we come from the giants like SunPower that make the most phenomenal cell on the planet.
On the planet.
Still,
Yeah.
And
but the most expensive.
Yes, most expensive.
It's horrible.
To see what Solaria has done because of the technology, the way they've done it, it's very surprising because I always do this. I would never put anything on anybody's roof that I wouldn't put on my own or my family's.
That's right.
That's right.
And I never thought I'd say I'd put anything on my roof other than SunPower, and I would actually now put Solaria. It's just a great technology. I think they're ahead of the game. They've got great product, great efficiency, and the longevity of it is fantastic.
360 watt solar panel goes up on your roof. If it's maintained, what I mean by that is a little vinegar and water to clean it off every once in a while.
Yeah,
Or pay one of these solar panel cleaning companies to come out every once in a while. Kind of like changing the oil in your car.
Yeah, hose it down once in a while.
Hose it down. How about that? I mean, little brass tip and kind of do that in the beginning.
Yeah.
But its kilowatt hour production can be up to 57 per month per panel.
Exactly.
Right.
So you need less footprint on your roof, and you've got this amazing panel that's producing energy back to the grid every hour that the sun's exposed.
Absolutely.
So why would you not put that on your roof?
Well, and it takes approximately, like you said, like 20% less panels because of its strength and efficiency. So it's a smaller footprint and it's doing more, and it's now cost effective.
Totally.
It's like we used to talk about businesses. It used to be in the past going green was cost prohibited.
Yep.
It costs too much. You couldn't afford to do it. Now we're finding many businesses can't afford not to.
That's
with
sure.
the government incentives and the depreciation available and things like that. You are
Businesses specifically.
but you're giving the incentive, even homeowners, up to 30% on the tax incentive.
Yes.
The government is trying to incentivize you to get energy independent.
That's
And
right.
that's going to start to fade. And this is the time to do it, both for homes and for businesses. There's not a better year than 2019.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Do you see the curve right now?
Yeah.
Solar prices are actually coming down to where it's affordable.
Right.
But electric rates are going up.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is the fulcrum
Yeah.
to where you should be paying attention, everybody.
Absolutely.
Hello?
Yeah.
Right? So put a great panel on your roof. Do it with a good company. And the inverter choice that I would choose for all this, SMA America
Yeah.
makes probably one of the most solid bulletproof inverters on the planet. Comes with wireless monitoring. You don't have to buy an extra card. It's built into the system. You can put them together in series, and each one of those inverters, hint, you don't need to have a battery backup, because if the power went out, the energy that's on your roof, each one of those inverters, that, of course, it's got to be a 5 kilowatt or better,
Right.
has this ability to plug something in and feed 2,000 watts per hour
Wow.
while the sun is shining.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So does that not kind of like eliminate the battery?
Of course.
It certainly
Issue?
does, especially for like brownouts.
When
and
is your
blackouts during
power
the day.
ever went out at midnight?
Yeah. No, it's
Would you even know?
so power. No, that's a great point, because normally your power goes out at where there's a peak.
That's peak
There's
time.
a critical peak time.
That's right.
The systems are overloaded. It's 3:00 in an afternoon on the summer in California.
Hence, the
And
reason the rates are
system
going
went
up.
Exactly.
It's the energy rates. The reason they're going up, and this is that defense of Southern California Edison.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant for infrastructure. It's meant for hospitals. It's meant for machinery. It's not meant for Joe Citizen who's sitting at home playing Fortnite. It's got all these things running in his house,
Right.
and he's sucking this juice, man. They're disciplining him, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Right? Energy hogs need to stop. Right?
right.
You're supposed to go to work from 9 to 5 and then come home and enjoy your family, have a nice meal, and go to bed and start over and enjoy the weekends, right? This is what life is all about.
Right, that's right.
But now they're disciplining people that are staying at home. Sad for, businesses that are running these elderly home shelters at homes.
Yeah.
Their rates are going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. But stay-at-home moms, it's got a lot of kids. Sorry to hear that your rates are going up. Thanks for coming. And you saw earlier, Curtis, on a customer's electric bill, their rates are going to go up anywhere from $100 a month more, because they really don't pay attention, do they?
They don't pay at all.
You
No
just
attention.
go.
It is just incredible to see critical peak pricing at the residential level, where their pricing is $100 to $200 more a month in this first 30 days since
Right.
March 1st until April now.
This is the warning.
Well, and what's amazing about that is we're not in summer yet.
Oh my
So
God.
I love that.
I have a bill from a lady. She does a bit of a daycare out of her home.
Okay.
This was March. Her first new bill went up over $80, and she did nothing different.
$80 in March?
March.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
She's not
For the
doing-
same amount of energy she used
not
to use.
doing anything really differently. So I can only imagine, like what Curtis was saying, imagine in summertime what that bill is going to be doing. So you really have to take a look at that.
And
How
this
about
is-
15 million customers? I got my calculator off, folks. I mean, let's times that I don't think my calculator would go that high. $80. It said error.
Yeah, that's the error they like.
OMG. Just for doing nothing extra special.
Yeah. There's another 3 letters. I mean, SCETOUCPP. All of it is at least an OMG, maybe a WTF. And I really think that people need to start looking at this.
I like the OMG myself.
Yeah, you got to look at this and say, the good news is, all right, is that you are in power to take back your power.
Exactly.
They got choices still.
There's choices now,
still.
Okay, that are cost effective, and if you can buy your energy for less than you're renting it, why wouldn't you do so?
Well, and that's
a great thing
point
to say, man. It's just so true.
Think about this, though, sincerely. You're paying $200 a month.
Right.
12 months is $2,400. You've been in your home 10 years. That's $24,000.
You've already given that away.
If you do nothing,
right,
and you're in your home another 10 years, you've given them $48,000. Why?
That's without the 7% increase per year.
Exactly.
And the results of prime.
Exactly.
And critical peak pricing.
Yeah. And most people are averaging the 200, especially now since critical peak. Yeah. But just think about this. Those are paying $300 or more.
So they've already bought their system.
You had $3,600 a year.
And maybe bought it twice over.
Exactly. $36,000.
Hey, they're buying me one. I'm putting one up soon.
And it doesn't make sense to keep renting what you can own.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why have your home, as you're saying, Rob and Chris, why have your home you're purchasing, but you're renting your power? It's ridiculous.
Hey, you know what, Rob? There's a great sale going on right now at Bed Bath & Beyond for candles.
Yeah.
You know, oneth by land, twoeth by sea, maybe?
Well, and that
you don't need power.
No, and that brings, turn it off. And that brings up the thing. You know, people. You know, there's always been some resistance where people think, well, I don't want to sign a contract, or I don't want to do a purchase, or be something like that. But what they don't realize is they're in the worst contract they've ever been in one, because they can raise your rate.
It's a free for all. It's what it is.
It's. Would you, if you came to me and you were buying an item from me, and I told you, look, here it is. There's no contract. It goes on forever. I can charge you whatever I want and raise you as often as I want. I can add any fee or penalty I want anytime I want. Would you sign?
Absolutely not.
I would say, Rob,
that's a red flag.
Anybody would say, are you insane?
Yeah.
Okay, but what we have is we have utilities that are monopolies in their area.
Yep.
If you're in Southern California Edison, you're not going to go say, well, I'm going to shop it to LADWP. You can't do that.
Yep.
But what you can do now is you've got solar and energy efficient systems that can now meet a price point that is lower than what you're doing at the moment, and you get to own it and have predictable, non-volatile pricing.
That's right.
It's in many cases it's a no-brainer. The key thing is having somebody that knows how to look at your system and make sure it's right for you. And like we've always done here, if it's not right for somebody, we're the first one to tell them.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But if it's right for them, it's a time to start changing the way you're doing business and taking control of if you take control of your power, you're taking control of your money.
Exactly.
You know what? I personally have zero feelings for anybody in the house that says, I don't think solar works. You know what? At the end of 2023, when the federal tax credit has gone bye-bye, not that it's really being utilized a lot now, I don't think.
That's correct.
But once it's gone, guess what? It's going to be a solar Christmas, because once everybody's rates go up through the roof, and trust me, they're not going to lower the rates to help you out. They got this D-Care and FARA, but they check your 1040s now, and they make sure you have a doctor's letter. And that's only, I think it's a 25% discount.
Right.
But it does not stop you from using energy.
Doesn't stop you from bleeding.
Oh, bleeding.
Yeah.
Wow, it doesn't.
No.
That's the key. So as long as we are sitting there drinking the Kool-Aid, we're going to continue to suffer until we do something about it. And you know what? I purposely tell people, hey, why don't you wait until 2023?
Well, the thing, so
it's going to be great.
And there's another thing on top of that. California has passed laws that starting January 1st of 2020, every new home built has to have solar.
Right.
So let me ask you a question. If I had a product to you and I said, here, I have this to sell, if it's an optional product or if it's a mandatory product, which one costs more?
Right.
Come on, exactly.
Hello.
So Californians need to understand, do not wait until it's mandatory. Do not wait until 30% tax incentive goes to 26, 22, 10, and then gone. take advantage of it in its full breadth. Same thing for businesses. Get the 34% depreciation MACRs and save as much as you can. But when things are mandatory and you have to do it, that's when the prices are the highest.
That's right.
And that's not to your benefit. So this is really one of those things, because I hear people say, won't it be cheaper if I wait? Actually, no.
Oh, wow.
Because of the way the situation is right now and the incentives and the way California is moving its laws. And it's not just about that. It's by 2030, how many homes they want to have switched. The government, the state is putting the screws a bit to you to make that change. And it's a good thing because it's for our environment. But guess what? We can save the planet and save you money at the same time.
At the same time.
I mean, it's such a win-win.
And just think about this, though, sincerely. With every business owner and residential owner that really have someone sharing with them, consulting with them on their savings, on their ability to have solar, this is the time, as you said, Rob.
Yeah.
This is the time to have it, because you're now going to 26% next year.
Oh, yeah.
30% currently.
It's going down until it's gone.
And so
I think most importantly, what people should seriously think about is this. Doing nothing is going to cost you a considerable amount of money, just like we say on the show, right, Rob?
Right.
It costs you nothing to listen to our show, but it will cost you a lot if you don't.
Absolutely.
So if you don't get information, if you don't get up to date on things that are out there, you're going to suffer greatly.
Well, and they already
Most importantly, buy your solar system from a company that gives a flip, that doesn't just talk about solar.
Right.
Energy efficiency is energy efficiency, and you got to start somewhere. Some of the smallest things that we tell people to do in their house can help them down the right path.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're just going to do solar because you think you know everything, well, just do it. You might not have to buy as much solar for your house if you take these energy efficiencies into place. Kind of like a guy I just did out in Fontana. He bought life paint to secure the house, so it keeps the cool in and the heat in during the summer and the wintertime. And then we put new double pane windows.
Right.
Exactly.
Some really high efficient stuff. And then we, kind of maximized his attic insulation.
Right.
Those three things alone are going to bring his bill down 30 to 40% alone.
Right.
So do these little tweaks first. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to jump into solar and your bill's not that really expensive, I mean, why would you blow up a balloon knowing it was going to deflate immediately after you blew it up?
Well, it's like we always say. We, believe it or not, we want to put the smallest solar system on your roof we can.
That's right.
Because we want to be as cost-effective. So if there's other things we can do to make your house more efficient and then do the solar in conjunction with it, it's going to lower your bill for less money.
The greatest thing that we do is we wrap it up, we bundle those things together, and we have like a phase 1 process, and then we go to our phase 2 process to really see what's going on. It's like the doctor.
Yeah.
You don't just go there and assume you're having a cardiac arrest. You got to get diagnosed. Right. So would you call us the energy doctors, if at best?
Well,
hello.
Kind of.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is great stuff, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody, just remember this. Just like we all say here at the Energy Hour, it costs you nothing to listen to our show, but it costs you a lot if you don't. So if you're one of those people out there that are just spending money over and over and over, and you don't care about the prices because you make a gob of money, well, you know what? God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. At least you're doing that right.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to really take a change and make some adjustments, and I'm talking about at your home,
right, and
maybe some of the simplest things. How about replacing that old refrigerator? Hello? I mean, let's really dive into this if we're going to do it right, and do it right. Most importantly, do it with the right company. Just don't let some high school kid or some college kid that looks like he just got out of, solar school, and he's going to sell you something that he has nothing to talk to you about.
Right.
Here's one of the things as a consumer you can ask these guys. Hey, what's the name of the solar panel that you're using to put on my roof, and how many kilowatt hours per month do you think it'll produce?
Right.
Ask them some things like that.
Yeah.
Watch their jaw open, and they're going to give you the,
Have you?
Which way did he go?
Have you been in some of these stores where they approach you and try to make an appointment with you?
Hi, I'm Billy Bob from XYZ. Would you like to buy a solar system? OMG.
Just say, hey,
crazy.
What's the panel? What's the manufacturer of the panel? What's the wattage? What's the
PTC rating of
it? What's the PCT rating? What's the degradation on the panel? You ask them about 3 or 4 questions, and you'll get the blank stare.
Hey, last but not least, seriously, when they go into the house, make sure these guys are licensed.
Oh, absolutely.
They have the company that they're working for. Hopefully, will be licensed.
Absolutely.
Make sure they have that home improvement salesperson's license around their neck.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Absolutely.
Most of them may have a driver's license. It's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
If that. But make sure they got all their
I think
credentials.
I think something that I think what people have to really realize is the price you're paying today for your energy is for not doing anything. You haven't done anything, and that's what it is. If you don't like that it's going up every year, it's because you haven't done anything about it.
That's right.
Okay, so you're exactly where you're at for not making a move, not making a
Congratulations.
switch. All right, and it's gotten worse there, but what's happened in the meantime is the industry, energy efficiency industry has gotten a lot better and a lot more affordable. So it's kind of the time to make that switch. You can't keep complaining and do the same thing over and over again.
That's right. Do something about it, right?
Yeah.
Insanity, exactly, right, Curtis?
Yeah, exactly. So
good talk, guys. What's the last piece?
Rob, piggybacking really quick.
Yeah.
You've already paid for your solar when you look at the numbers you've paid to your power companies already.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh,
That's what people don't. When I consult somebody,
that's big, Curtis.
And I ask how many years have you been with Edison or LADWP or Pasadena Water and Power, and they say, I've been paying 30 years. and you look at that rate, it's astonishing because they bought their system once, twice, sometimes 3 times over.
Crazy.
Just be done with it.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Take back your power. Own your own power, and that's the way to go.
Rob, Curtis, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Energy Hour.